Stu, during the timeout, emotions running very high on the Laker bench between those two right there. And again, they're being...
First round last year. Russ, looking for a bounce-back game from his LA debut a couple nights ago. Lakers down 5 here early. Russ off the glass. He loved that shot from the mid-range. He had 8 points total Tuesday. He finished with 15 in this game. Chris Paul entered the night 7 points away from becoming the first player in NBA history with 20,000 points and 10,000 assists. That was nasty. Speaking of nasty, watch this. As Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis are leaving the court during a timeout, they get to the sideline and all of a sudden this happens. Oh, we've got words. We've got strong grips. Emotions running high. There's frustration. Obviously, now they're talking it out a little more like men should talk it out. Teammates. All right, so the Lakers. The Suns were up 32 at one point. They win it by 10. Wow. Magic Johnson. He went to Twitter right after this game, and this is what he said. Dwight Howard and AD got into a physical altercation on the bench. In my 42 years of being associated with the Lakers organization, I've never seen something like that. Shaking my head. So Madge, not happy with what he saw, but what exactly happened? Here's Dwight Howard.
Squash it right there. You know, we just had a disagreement about something that was on the floor. We both very passionate about winning. We didn't want to lose this game, and that's my brother. That's my teammate. You know, that's what I told him. So I'm always be here for you, no matter what. I'm always fighting for you. Do whatever I can to help this team win. Said the same thing. So we're good. We squashed it. There's no need to try to make it bigger. Something else. The two guys, very competitive. Just won more games.
We knew the margin for error was going to be slim. You know, so we're just disappointed that we're not winning. That's all. We still have a strong belief in who we can be and a lot of moves that we can make to get things going in the right direction. But the frustration just around not winning the game. These are some of the greatest players ever to play because of their competitive spirit. So if you don't win, there's going to be frustration.
All right, little known fact: guys get into scuffles all the time, every season, every team. You typically don't see it in the game on the bench, though. That's why that one stood out. But also what stood out in this game, the Suns dominating the Lakers down low, doubling up LA in the paint 52-26. Lakers only had 6 paint points in the first half, shot just 36% in the paint for the
Suns by 13 at the half. Chris Paul 11 points and 10 assists. LeBron James 11 points and 3 fouls. But the storyline clearly here. Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis on the bench for the Lakers. Getting into it, it's not exactly clear yet over what. Michael Wilbon, how do we read this?
We read this as Dwight Howard has been on a different team. It seems like each of the last 20 years. Okay, maybe it's been like 7. But he seems to wear out his welcome at some point during that year, even on good teams. The Lakers don't have time for this. You bring in old guys, you bring in veterans, smart veteran players, do the smart veteran things, right?
Old grumpy guys, both top 75. Dwight on the fringe of getting in. Everybody talking about why didn't he get in? No big deal. In there at halftime, they talking about it, trying to get ready for the second half.
Let me tell you what is a big deal about it.
No big deal.
You're Dwight Howard. I like Dwight Howard. Look at me right now, Dwight Howard. I would strongly advise you not to get on the nerves of Anthony Davis. You are lucky to be in this league. Now, I think he should be. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a major contributor when he's focused. But if you find yourself on the outside looking in and Anthony Davis got a problem with you, remember, it wasn't too long ago where Dwight Howard was wondering whether or not he'd have a job in the NBA. Landed with the Lakers, won a title, ended up going to Philly. They bring him back. You still making minimum, veteran minimum, over $2 million. This is Anthony Davis we talk about here. Do not mess that up, because you get let go by the Lakers, your career might be over quick.
Oh, by the way, they're down 13 points at the half to the Suns. We will go back and see second half
the
action.
second quarter in the
CP3, 11
Lakers.
points, 10 assists.
CP3 got Melo on his heel.
And if you guys got a chance to talk about it, either.
Oh yeah, we squashed it right then and there. We just had a disagreement about something that was on the floor. So we both very passionate about winning. We didn't want to lose this game, so we both were just very passionate. We got it out the way. We grown men. Things happen. But we already done talked, squash it. There's no issues between me and him. And that's my brother. That's my teammate. And that's what I told him. So I'm going to always be here for you, no matter what. I'm going to always fight for you. I'm going to do whatever I can to help this team win. He said the same thing, so we're good. We squashed it. There's no need to try to make it bigger than something else.
Yeah, enjoyed it in that second quarter. A lot of fouls early. Was it defensive rotations, or what was some of the stuff?
We're just trying to get it together. This is our second game. Second real game. And we're gonna get it right. I know a lot of people count us out already. It's early. A lot of people laughing at us and joking, but we're gonna get this thing together. We know what's on the line, and we want to win. We're very passionate. We won number 18, so we're not gonna stop. We're gonna do whatever we can to get that.
Dwight, do you think that the incident with AD was a result of the frustration from losing the opener, the struggles in this game?
No, we were just upset about a play. We was upset about a play. We both had a disagreement, and we both just got into our feelings. And it happens. We're grown men. We're trying to figure things out, and it just looked bad. But other than that, we have no issues with each other, and I don't want nobody to try to make this into an issue between me and AD, or I'm trying to cause a problem with the team, because I'm not. Everybody on the team know what type of energy I bring every single night, regardless if I'm on the bench, if I'm on the court, whatever. I'm the same exact person. I'm never going to change. I'm going to always be up. I'm going to always push my teammates. I'm going to always be positive no matter what. I didn't even say nothing negative to him, that whole exchange, so it just may have looked like it, but that's my brother, and I'm not going to let nobody mess up our relationship.
Wait, when did you guys squash it? And
we already squashed it during the timeout. It's over with. It's over with.
And when you didn't play in the second half, did you see that?
It had nothing to do with it.
Just in general, it seemed like a really testy game, stuff going on.
Yeah, it was. This is the team that put us out of the playoffs last year, so we was already agitated about that, that they beat us in the playoffs, and it was like, man, not tonight. We can't let it happen. They beat us in the preseason. We like, nah. Tempers, everybody was upset, but that was we just got to control our emotions, and we're going to figure it out. We got 80 more games.
When we talk about controlling our emotions, they've also gotten arguments with the refs.
Yeah, everybody. Even coach, said to us, he got to get better at controlling his emotions. He got a technical foul. He's running on the floor. So we all understand that we got to stay positive, but we also got to stay humble. Stay humble and stay hungry. We're gonna get what we need to get out of this season, but we got to stay humble, got to stay positive, and things are going to happen in our favor.
Dealing with it at this point, if at all.
There we go. There's two guys who are very competitive, who just want to win games.
He said that it might have been just on the court, something defensive, whatever it was. Do you think there's anything with the level of frustration, or is it something you think is in the past at this point?
No, it's over with.
And then LeBron, just one question of the fourth quarter. Was there something you guys found going to the rim that hadn't been there this game plus the season opener that you saw, and anything else, just trying to find some of that cohesion?
Yeah, just trying to find a rhythm, really trying to play with pace. One thing in the fourth quarter we got stops. We gave up 21 points. A lot of those points was either threes because we were trapping or just free throws late in the game. So we got stops, which allowed us to get on and run. Russ was able to get a lot of defensive rebounds, push early, which he's really good at. And, we just got the ball moving, had a lot of space out there, and just playing kind of like carefree basketball, not really thinking too much, just kind of reacting.
AD, both you and Dwight said that you guys resolved it and, competitive guys, but seeing teammates, come together like that on the sideline, with a shove and all that. We're not used to seeing that very often. It's not something you see very often. Why should that not be looked at as a sign of, a fracture with the chemistry of this team?
Y'all can look at it how y'all want to look at it. That's on y'all. But, in-house, what we do in that locker room and what we say, we keep it to ourselves. And like I said, after the situation, happened, me and DH, we talked about it, and we left it at that.
Guys, I think the word maybe that got used most during training camp was patience, and that was going to, LeBron, you used it a lot with us. Is that an easier said than done thing, sitting here 0-2, not playing the way you have wanted, I think, for long enough stretches in these games?
Well, obviously, the name of the game is to win ball games. But there's a process along with building something to become the team that you want to become. And I know it firsthand. I know, the shortcomings that happens throughout when you're trying to build something special. And, it doesn't happen overnight. As much as you want it, you're going to get frustrated at times because you know what you're capable of. You know what the team can become capable of. But it just takes time, and we'll know when that time is. But right now, we got to just continue to push. Continue to stay positive, continue to push, continue to work our habits, continue to play good basketball for one another, and get on the board, get on the winning board. Obviously, that's the most one of the things that we want to do. But we're going to have games that we win, we should have lost. We're going to have games that we lost, that we should have won. But ultimately, I think if we continue to get better as the months go on, as the season go on, then we will be the team that we want to be.
AD, what was the nature of the defensive miscue that you and Dwight were trying to figure out? You guys were discussing.
Just a pick and roll scheme. That was it. Let's say me and him trying to figure, not just me and him, but all of us trying to figure out on the defensive end. And something happened. I was saying one thing, he was saying another on the scheme, and one thing led to another. And like I said, we talked about it, and we left it in the locker room at halftime.
In addition to what happened with you and Dwight, there was text tonight. There was a fan that got up in Rondo, and the emotions of this night. Do you think there's any reflection on how your team composes itself, or how you can handle emotions in high, intense games like this?
We got to do a better job of, not allowing calls that we feel like should have went our way stop us from what our goal is out on the floor. There were some very, very difficult calls that we felt like we should have went our way, but we allowed that to, combat 3, 4, 5 possessions in a row, and we started to lose control of the game because we were kind of too worried about what they were calling or whatnot. So I think that side of the emotion side kind of got to us tonight, and that's what happens when you're trying to get over the hump. You're trying to play perfect basketball, or as close to perfect as possible, and one call here or one mistake here seems like it's the end of the world when it shouldn't be. But we'll get better with it. We have no choice but to get better with it.
Rashawn Haylock, KTLA 5 Sports. LeBron, a lot of frustration, obviously, but what is something that you can take away from tonight that the team improved on, that you guys got better at tonight?
I don't think it's a lot of frustration. I really don't. I think there's moments when you're frustrated because you want to be better. You want better communication. You don't want to turn the ball over. You don't want to give up a layup. You don't want to miss an assignment. But I think it can get overly blown when you lose a game and you have some texts here. Start saying, okay, well, these guys are ultimately, the whole thing is frustration. And we're competitors. If you don't get mad at certain things on the floor that you feel like should have done better, then what are you here for? So, we like that as a ball club. We like that adversity. I like that adversity, and I like it even more when 2 men and a team can come together and talk about it and move on. That's what real men do. You don't let it linger. You say what you got to say, and you talk about it and you move on. That's what we did tonight.